Now I'm going to be tying this fly here. Now this is basically a wee note that was left at Megan Boyd's. Megan Boyd was a well-known fly dresser, fly tyer, and what customers would do, they would leave, if she wasn't at home, they would leave a small note with her name and address, pattern they would like copied, and obviously sometimes they would write the dressing on the back. Now this one was left by a gentleman called Col.J.H. Blyth. He was you can see down there, he was in the 12th Lancers, so a well-known guy as well. Now as you can see, you want it 6, 8s and 10s at 20 pence. Now the fly itself, I would say it's tied a lot earlier than that because of the style of the hook. Now I'm going to be using a modern hook. This is a bronze hook. It's a bomber hook actually. I just thought it would suit the style of fly and try and get as close to the original as possible. Now the thread I'm going to be using, this is a uni thread 80 in yellow. It suits the colour of the materials at the back. Now we start at the back, at the eye sorry, and we work our way down. Now I'm taking the thread to the point of the hook, which is there, and then when I let the bobbin go it should be in line with the point, and then remove the waste piece. Then I'm putting a small silver tag on. I'm using a very fine oval silver tinsel. You could use a flat tinsel if you want, it's up to yourself. Let's catch this on the side, and then make sure you wax your thread. We wind the thread down until I'm in line with the barb of the hook. Meaning when I let the thread go it should be in line with the barb. It's quite hard to see there, but it should be in line now. Then bring the thread looking, say about half a dozen turns or so back up, and then form your part of the tag with the silver, oval silver tinsel to that point. About 5 turns is enough. Now in 2 or 3 turns, make sure it's secure. Catching it basically the underside of the piece I tied in already. Trim that the length of the tag, trim that away. Now I'm using a Pheasant or the Marabou floss, this one here, it's a salt floss in yellow. Now it's too thick, so what you can do is just open it out and reduce it. Just take the twist out, it will come apart quite easy, you can see there. And you can reduce it even more, you can take a twist and you can take this right down to suit the size of the fly that you're actually tying. And you don't get as much bulk if you watch what you're doing. And you will get a few flies out of one of these spools, so I'll just remove another one. Then what I do is catch this on the side. Now this is about 4 turns up, or 3 turns up, sorry. Now the thread is waxed, so there's plenty of grip there. Then you wind your floss up, forming your tag. So make sure you're happy, that's fine. And then we tie in the tail. Trim this the length of the first part of the body, which is a third of the way up. That gives me a measure there. Now the tail, golden pheasant crest feather. Now I'm actually using 2 here just to beef it up a wee bit. So I've got my tips lined up. Hold the tail length just slightly by the hook, and then we can secure that in. That looks okay. That's fine. Just with the natural curve of the feather going up. Now what I'm going to do here is take the thread all the way up this point. Now trim this so it's tapering towards the, if you cut it at an angle it will taper towards the eye when you go to tie materials in. Now I'm just taking my time, all I'm doing here is making sure everything is tied in and we've got a reasonable level playing field to work with materials. Now the rib I'm going to be using, a Lagartun rib, this stuff here. Now this is an oval silver in large. extra strong as it says there. This is a nice tinsel. Really good for like this style of fly, and a lot of people who tie classic flies will use Lagartun. Now when you catch this on the way back down, now the tinsel is going to be mainly on your side, not exactly underneath, but just about, just to that point there, till we come up against the tail. Just check where we are, make sure we're going to start. That's fine. Now I'm just making sure this is out of the way. Now I'm going to get some dyed yellow seal's fur for the first part of the body. Slightly, just start it off into your thread. Make sure you get enough there. Just slide it up. The start, make sure it starts at the tag. You can tighten up a wee bit if you need to, and then you want to start building the body up. If you need to tighten up, you can. Now don't be shy with the yellow, because this is going to be part of the, it's going to give the impression of a hackle at the back. I'm just checking my length here. That's fine. Take away the excess. Now we tie in a red cock hackle. We tie it in by the tip. Just make sure you've got enough hackle to wind up. I want to tie this in so that it actually follows the rib of the fly like the old style. You could bring it down and then come over the top, or you could counter rib. There's a couple of ways you can tie it in, but I'm going to tie it as the original fly. So trim away the tip, make sure this is tied in. Now you could change the thread to red to suit the colour of the seal's fur, which I'm going to do. So it's just a uni thread. This will keep things much brighter. So I'm just going to come over the yellow thread, just draw back your hackle, make sure it's out of the way, and then I'm going to wind up with our red seal's fur, dub it on. Don't be shy with the seal's fur. Again, we want to taper up, tighten up when we need to. Don't want it too tight, you want to be able to bring some of the seal's fur out. There we are. Make sure you've got this around about 3mm from the eye. Now I'm going to bring up our rib. Now there's 5 turns, which is normal for most flies. Make sure this hackle's out of the way. So we've got the first turn is on the yellow. Our second turn is still on the yellow slightly, but make sure the hackle's behind that rib, that turn. And then we come up and finish off. 2 or 3 turns to secure it. Come away. Just make sure this is tidy. I'll wax on my thread. And then, usually I like to do is just come up quickly with the hackle. Just a wee quick look to see the length, what it's like. There's no pressure there, I'm just folding it back slightly just to see the shape. And then we can come back up. Following the rib as we go. I usually like to just basically follow the seal's fur in this case. I always like a turn at the sole at the top. 2 or 3 turns in, secure it and trim away the excess. Anything going forward of the eye, just draw it back, tie it in with your thread. Now I'm going to use the velcro here and then brush out the seal's fur. especially at the yellow. Give the impression of a hackle, or a small yellow hackle, because you want plenty in there. That's why you put plenty on. Just roll this in. And that's your body done. Now, front hackle is a yellow. It's using a dyed yellow cock hackle. This one's from the bottom of a saddle. It's got a nice softer part down the bottom, so we tie this in by the tip, close to the tip anyway. Now all I'm going to do is trim the point away, leave enough obviously to catch it in. It's important that you wax your thread nice and tight. Then we can, as we wind, we can do a turn in front of the other by folding back the hackle as we wind. Try and keep them nice and straight. The bottom of this hackle is quite soft. There's a kind of henny fibre at the bottom, which is perfect. So just wind to your happy. It's okay. Follow up with the thread. Make a space for the thread to come onto the stem. And trim away the excess. Nice and tight. Build the head up. Make sure you've got a nice base down for your wing. Now the wing is just it's a golden pheasant breast, is this red breast. Normally you use this for shrimps. Just basically, if you look at the original fly, it's just tied on the top, single feather towards the back of the hook. Now, got one line here, so the length is there. Just take it back. It just sits like flat on the top, so what I'm going to do here is just bring my fingers down, hold the fibres either side so that it's kind of curving round the head, and check my length. You can always pull it in at this point. I think it there would suit this fly okay. You can see how it's sitting. Then what I'm going to do is wind really hard down towards the eye and back up. With these, you can fold them back and then come back up with the thread. Just before you get to the top, we can trim this away. You really got to make sure that it's not going to pull out. And then again, just use the thread to build the head up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to black. So the easiest way, you can use black varnish, but what I'm going to do is just change over to a uni thread in black and then work my way up. Just remove your red thread in the waist piece. Again, I'm just going to make sure this is well tied in. Now the head is part of the fly, so don't be shy with the head. Everybody tries to get a head small as possible. It's okay maybe sometimes, but to balance the fly you need to have some sort of shape in the fly. And there we are. And the head is part of it. So, and I'm using a thread that's half the thickness, even less than originally used when tying these flies. So finish off with a coat of super glue on this first, and then I'll finish off with a coat of varnish after the super glue. Super glue dries really quick and hard, and what I'm going to do is take away, it's just a wee touch too much. Just spreading it here. The super glue dries really quick. Within 10 minutes you can put a coat of varnish on it. Now there you are, that's your Col.J.H. basically naming it after the gentleman that wrote the message. So, because I don't know what the fly originally was called. It's a nice pattern. It's something you can try. There's some nice tying methods in there, so I hope you enjoyed that.